In this video, we're going to set up a Google Analytics account. We're going to do this in 3 easy steps. At first, we're going to create our Google Analytics 4 account. This is the newest version of Google Analytics. And then I'm going to show you 2 ways how you can install Google Analytics on your website. You can either do this via the Head Tag or the Google Tag Manager, and we'll walk you through both ways so you can pick what's best for you. So to get started, I would usually head over to Google Analytics in Google. So simply Google Analytics and go into the Get Started with Analytics. There you will be provided with a link that will guide you directly into your Analytics account. So you can sign in to Analytics in the top right or start for free if you don't have an account yet. So in my case, I already logged in. So if you're already logged in, you can find all the existing accounts in the top left. So I can scroll here through the accounts that I'm having. So if I want to create an additional account, what I'll have to do is to go into the bottom and click on admin here, which will then allow me to add an account at the top. So here it says create a new account. If we do that, we can say, for instance, this will be a test account as the name. I will leave these settings on. So these are account data sharing settings. It's mainly useful for the Google team to optimize their products. So there's no benefit of getting more or less features. So you can for yourself decide to turn it on or off. Next up, we'll give our property a name. So the way you should look at properties is that one Google Analytics account can have multiple different properties. So you might have a production website and a staging website and a development website that are all different versions of each other, and you would usually give them different properties. So in this case, I would, for instance, call this Zebra Farm Production, and then change my settings to the United Kingdom and GBP. All right, next. And one thing before, it's now hidden, but if you still want to use the Google Analytics, the Universal Analytics, which is the old version of Google Analytics, then you can turn this on here on the right and fill in your website name to both create a Google Analytics 4 property and a Universal Analytics property. So in case you're interested in what the difference is, the main difference between Universal Analytics and Google Analytics 4 is in the way they measure data. So Google Analytics used to just look at page views. Well, they looked at a lot of different things actually. They looked at page views, events, user timings, transactions, and had all these different hit types. With the new version, they moved away from these different categories to one category of just events. So in this table, you can see everything for yourself. The main benefit of moving away from these different hit types to just events is that you then can also track behavior on mobile apps. So Google Analytics used to only work on websites. The new Google Analytics 4 property is also able via Firebase to track traffic, behavior, actions on your iOS or Android apps. So if you're having an app as well, definitely go for the Google Analytics 4 property. If you do not have an app, it doesn't really matter right now, but to go ahead with the future of Google, it's better to already go with Google Analytics 4. And if you're on the Universal Analytics, I would recommend starting to migrate over slowly and start using both at first in the beginning. So we'll create a Universal Analytics property as well as a Google Analytics 4 property. So let me fill in our website, zebrafarm.co. We'll create both. Go next. We can kind of skip this. This is not very important. And then you'll have to accept the terms and conditions of Google Analytics. Okay, so I accept those. And now we've created an account. That's it. So we're all set up with our account. So if we log in, we'll now log into our Zebra Farm Production property. And you can see that here. So we have this new account, the test account, with a Zebra Farm Production with Universal Analytics, which you can see from the bottom here. It says Universal Analytics, and then we have a Google Analytics 4 property. So we have 2 different accounts. The next step is to actually link this account and those properties to our website. So the way to do that is you can go into one of them and it will automatically prompt you to link the Google Analytics 4 account. So it says here, tagging instruction, add new on page tag or use existing on page tag. In our case, we do not have an on page tag yet, so we'll copy paste this. So you can copy paste it on the left, if you click this icon, so we'll do that, and then we can install it in our head tag. So if you're a developer, you're very familiar with what a head tag is. If you're not a developer or don't know how to manage your own code base, then simply share this with your developer. What he will do, which might be interesting to show briefly, is he will go into your website, and every website consists of HTML. With that inside, there will be like these head tags as well as body tag. You can see that here. So your developer will insert this particular script inside the head tag, so it will be shown in here. So don't know if Google Analytics has an example here, but on most websites, if you go into the inspector, you will be able to see the head tag and what's in there. So that's just a side note. That's what your developer or yourself will be doing if you copy paste this. The alternative way is using Google Tag Manager. So it says here, our free Google Tag Manager tool can help add tags to your website. And the way to do that would be to actually go into Google Tag Manager and use the Google Analytics 4 property. So if you already have a Google Analytics account, you will see something like this in your workspace. So simply go to tagmanager.google.com to log in, and then you can add tags. Go into the menu on the side, on the left side, hit tags, create a new tag, click tag configuration, and then Google already provided a feature tag called GA4 configuration. So the only thing you'll have to add here is a measurement ID. So the measurement ID you can find in your Google Analytics account. So if we go back and then go into the top right here, we can copy paste our measurement ID. So if we, that was our site tag, we need the measurement ID, like this. And then keep this on, send a page view event when this configuration loads. So that's the first time somebody visits your website, and we'll just leave these as is. So when do we want to trigger this? We want to trigger this on all pages. So there should be already a default trigger for you. If not, you can create one here called page view all pages. Just change the name to all pages. I probably already have one like that, and then you're good to save it. I'll just give this the name GA4 configuration, save, and now you've added your GA4 tag to Tag Manager. You only have to submit those changes, and you're good to go. The thing you have to keep in mind is you'll obviously have to copy paste the Tag Manager code into your website. So similar to installing Google Analytics via the global site tag, if you want to use the Tag Manager route, you'll have to install Google Tag Manager using these tags. So you still have to engage with your developer if you want to do that. It's just a different tag. I would prefer using Google Tag Manager so that you don't have to install different site tags for every different tool you're using. So that's how you can install Google Tag Manager. That's all there is. So the next videos will show you how to actually use this data to answer very important business questions. So I hope this is helpful. If you have any questions, leave a comment, let me know, send me a message, and I'm happy to help you out.